In today's society, we have hundreds of thousands of things at our reach. Between social media, fast food chains, the latest gossip on Kim Kardashian, and her new implants that she just got. Um, of course, you knew I wasn't going to leave her out, right? We have so much access to everything around us. Now you've developed a slight cough with a stuffy nose. What are you going to do about it? Well, you can go to the doctor and get a steroid shot, which is called a cocktail shot. And it's not the kind of cocktail shot you get at evening gatherings either. Um, what about the flu? Of course, there's the flu shot. Between those two shots, as well as the new shots that are coming out, such as the shingles virus shot, there's so many options around us. I will be looking at both sides of the spectrum, such as what are the risks of vaccine shots? Are doctors continually coming out with new shots just for money-making purposes, or are they really as potent as they're portrayed to be? Also, I'm going to look at the history of vaccine shots, which has now led, of course, to an epidemic in modern-day medicine. It all began, I'm going to go way back to 900 AD, and variolation was where they took an infected person to treat an uninfected person from getting infected. And back then, the smallpox were really, really widespread. And so in 900 AD, the Chinese discovered that you can cut the scabs off of the infected person and either place it under the uninfected person's skin or place it up their nose. And that was basically their way of treating them from so that they can be immune to it. And you fast forward to 1700 when a name of Edward Jenner, a gentleman, a British physician, discovered the vaccine that is, in modern day form. And the scientific community was indeed, they were persuaded to say, okay, hey, this is awesome. This is going to work. You go to today's society and you see all these vaccines that were being injected with, and the ingredients that are in it, just like foods, for instance. So many foods today, there are so many preservatives, and so when you look into a vaccine shot, you see all of these add-ins, such as there's aluminum gels, which that just does not sound healthy, as well as monosodium glutamate. And monosodium glutamate is actually been linked to brain cancer, as well as a couple different other cancers. And you can find that link on thetruthaboutcancer.com, on their website. And so there are many different things to look at when you're getting vaccines. So I recommend, if you're going to get one, look at the ingredients first before you actually go through with it, just so you can see what is actually being placed into your body. Today, 35 shots should be given to children between the ages of birth to 18 months, and then 15 more in between the ages of 18 months to 18 years. And so, I was born in 1995, and that year was the first year that they came out with the chickenpox shot. And so, it was so exciting, we are going to inject this baby, and they're never going to get chickenpox. How awesome is that? And, I grew up, did not get chickenpox when I was a child. Everything was fine, and one evening I started noticing these little dots on me, and I was like, oh, what is this? And one evening I woke up in the middle of the morning. I could feel my heartbeat in my face. My breathing was awful. It was impossible to take a deep breath. And so my mom, of course, we were both panicked. We didn't know what's going on. So we went to the doctor, and they were in awe of what I looked like. And we went in there, and they were like, this is a severe case of chickenpox at the age of 19 years old. And we were like, but we got the vaccine shot when it first came out in 1995, and they were just, they did not know what was going on. I got the vaccine shot. I shouldn't have gotten chickenpox, but I did. And so I feel like vaccines definitely affect me differently than what they're supposed to, and so that kind of gives you an idea on where I stand with them. There's also been a rumor that immunization shots are linked to autism, which there has been a link. Some of it has been debunked, but it's just with all of these added ingredients, you just never know what can be causing it, just like with foods, with all of these preservatives. So there are different laws, too, throughout the states that require children, in grade school and all of that, to have all of their shots updated before, attending school. And so, another thing that I'm just really concerned about is the fact that the government is forcing it upon others. It should be a choice. Parents should have a choice for their children, whether or not they want to have their children, injected with these vaccines, rather than the government saying, hey, you have to do this. This is mandatory. Otherwise, you're going to put others in danger, when in all actuality, maybe that is what is putting us in danger. Like, what are we putting into our bodies? And so I recommend to parents as well, look into it. Like, see what you're actually being given. At this point, America needs to wake up and dig deep in research. What is being injected in our bodies? And we need answers. We need answers that are reassuring and that are actually going to make sense, rather than, vaccines work for most people, or it is completely safe. I mean, real answers. How can doctors and lawyers and political candidates have quite the success on telling us what we need to do when they're really great at pulling people's legs a lot of the time? How can somebody stand up and say without a doubt that vaccines are safe? We need to stop drawing conclusions, as well as settling with any doctor and what they say. Stand up for your own concerns, because it's your body. You're trying to keep it safe. It seems as though this generation is if that person said it, then it's got to be true. What about what you see or watch or even read on the World Wide Web? This article is from the New York Times, so it's got to be true and accurate, right? Media will do anything in their power to take the raw truth and turn it into their own truth. And that shows that with vaccines and all of this ranting and raving about how incredibly safe they are, gives everyone a good opportunity to stand up and say, okay, stop. I need to speak my mind. I need to know what is being given to me. And that can be your own personal testimony to others around you, and giving them the strength to be like, okay, I'm going to stop. I'm going to look at this, and I'm going to go from there. Can we say they're safe? How can somebody say that they're not? Will we ever be able to hunt down the answer? Well, hey, it's worth a shot. Thank you.